Well, greetings and salutations, my friends. How's everybody doing today? Hope your week is off to a good start. I started my week off like I start most days now. I took a long walk this morning. I didn't finish my ritual though. I don't have any more watermelon in the house, and until I get the car fixed tomorrow and the curb market opens, I won't have any. But no need to feel sorry for me. I had a liter of water, and now I'm enjoying a nice big bowl of like really good mangoes. I couldn't be any happier with the Atolfo mangoes that I am getting these days. I imagine if you're here in the United States, you're enjoying that 3-day weekend, having one more day off before you go back to work. And then to me, this was always the official beginning of summer. Memorial Day. I don't know why, just on the calendar, I think, we just get like, we remember we go back to our earliest memories. And when I first started school, it changed probably around in my high school years. But when I first started school, we got out at Memorial Day. So that was it. Friday before Memorial Day, boom, you were out. So the summer began, and then the summer ended with Labor Day. But anyhow, today I want to talk about a profound experience and a surrender and letting go. I do videos every day, so if you're not already subscribed to the channel, I'd really appreciate it if you would hit the subscribe button, then click on the little bell and check send notifications so YouTube will keep you subscribed to the channel. So this probably from the title, and I'm imagining not as many people will watch because it doesn't have something with food in the title. This sounds a little bit more like my Saturday evening videos that I release, but it's really something bigger than that, bigger than the food. It's something that kind of ties it all together, but also encompasses all of it. Recently, I've been, my meditation practice for the last 2 months, I've been very unsettled. It's been hard to settle in. I'm restless. I haven't been sitting as long as I had been previously. And previously to that, I was dropping a little bit deeper. I was just sitting and sitting and sitting longer. So I recently, but then again, it's always, I don't judge, and everything I'll talk about today, I don't judge. I don't like that. I don't judge each sitting. Like, I don't say my meditation is going good or my meditation is going bad, because all of that is impermanent. And when you have a good day, that's good, but it'll change, there will be, so it's always moving. But I did decide to try something. The last couple or 3 nights, I decided to go back to using these guided meditations with the app that I've been using since I started this, about a year and a half, a little close to a year and a half ago with this meditation practice. So I went back to doing these guided meditations. First day I did it, I did find myself, like settling in, really settling in, mind settling a lot more than it had been. And then the next day, I think that next day was the day I had my trouble with my car, and I actually missed meditating that night. Well, last night, I sat in meditation, and at the end of the meditation, the person, and I really like her voice in the Calm meditation app, she said something. I ended up posting this with a photo on Instagram. She said this, something to this effect. It wasn't an exact quote, and it may have been an anonymous quote. I think she said, I don't know who said this, but she finished by saying, when we let go a little, we find a little peace. When we let go a lot, we find a lot of peace. When we let go completely, we find complete peace. That was like, when she said that, it was like, I've never had one of these, and I'm not saying, anything, I didn't see lights or anything like that, but you hear about people having these experiences where they just receive a message or receive something that just is so profound and resonates that they're immediately, it's just transformed. It's almost like everything, or not transformed so much as everything is lifted. Everything that was on my back, everything that I worried about, that's gone. That's gone. That's gone. And that surrender and letting go was just like, that's exactly what I needed to hear in that moment. I received that message, and in that very moment, I could feel like everything's going to be all right. I almost heard a couple of riffs from that Bob Marley song, No Woman, No Cry, where he says everything's going to be all right. Because at that moment, I did get a certain peace with that. At that moment, I said, yeah, no more will I walk, no more will I be dealing with any of the things I'm dealing with now. Being like, thinking like, well, if this happens and then in a year, or if this happens and then this happens. No, I just have to have what I have a lot of things I'm working on. I feel good about, but self-doubt creeps in there sometime, and you're like, well, what if it doesn't, or what if this doesn't, or what if that doesn't happen, or what if this does happen? And when you start letting the mind spin the what ifs, it just kind of the spinning gets going faster and well, what if this, what if that, what if this, what if that, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, and it can kind of just roll on itself. So yeah, that was one of those like, bam, smack you in the face, message received. I got it. And at that moment I felt peace. Now, when I say letting go, surrender, you have to really explain that, so some people don't get the wrong connotation on that. That's not a passive thing. That doesn't mean like I'm just, oh, I've let go. I'm just waiting for stuff to happen, or waiting for my life to be good, or waiting for anything else. It's going to be an active process. And there's going to be times where I have to remind myself of this, where I start to see a little bit of worry, not trusting God, the universe, whatever you want to call it out there, and not trusting just the process. The process. That's where I say you just put your head down and you do the process. And like I say, this has to do with food. This has to do with anything, with money, with work, with business, with fitness. You just trust that process and don't worry, because when you're worrying, you're not as efficient. You're not as effective with what you were doing. You're kind of hesitating. From a practical standpoint, and some people may have heard this term before and not, and a little bit more worldly thing, not so spiritual way of putting it. I feel like I can play loose now. In other words, when you're worried about money, and when you're worried about business, and when you're worried about anything, relationships for some people, this and that for some people, you play tight, you play worried. It's kind of like an athlete, when they don't just have that mentality of playing loose. When somebody plays loose with no worry, things tend to kind of flow. And that's how I kind of feel right now. So I've got to eliminate that. I have eliminated that. And it happened so profoundly, just in a one moment, that I kind of had to share, because it's not going to change. It's not like I had, I'm going to go to the mountain or somewhere or whatever. It's just, it's something that's changed, that kind of, changed within me. Not really, not even changed within me. I'm still kind of processing that too. That was like I say, a pretty profound experience. Not so much something changed in me, but now I just have a peace about the assurance that, if I just do what I need to do, if I do what I'm capable of doing in every aspect of my life, that's all I can really do anyway. The worry cripples us. The worry slows us down. The worry makes us less effective than we can be. And I like to be running. Listen, I got a lot of time on my hand, if you can't tell. Not a lot of time on my hands, but a lot of time by myself to be inside my head thinking about things, and always thinking about the process, and always thinking about how I can work on myself. I would advise that to a lot of people. Now me, I might be by myself, but I'm not lonely. Being alone, somebody said something the other day, got me thinking about this. Being alone does not necessarily mean lonely. Like I say, I don't really get lonely. Don't get me wrong, I get a little bit bored at times, because I do like conversation. I do like being around people, but I'm not, lonely. Boo-hoo, I need to be around people. But if someone is lonely, alone or lonely, I will give them the same advice. That's a good time to do, instead of feeling sorry for yourself or feeling like, oh, I sure wish I wasn't alone all the time. That's a great time for self-work. That's a great time for reflection. There's always, I was watching a video last night that a friend sent to me, and let me see, I've got my history up right here. And the point of it was turning challenges into opportunities. It was a great video. I need to go back and watch it, because it was I was pretty in a peaceful state after that meditation last night. So as I was watching that laying on the couch, I was kind of drifting in and out. I was just in this really mellow, peaceful state, but turning challenges into opportunities. And that's what life is really about. Listen, I don't care how bad life bitch slaps you, I don't care what happens to you. You can only deal with what's right in front of you. It's kind of like the kid that wants to throw themselves on the floor and have a temper tantrum. All you parents, you've seen that, I'm sure, once or twice. But it doesn't really, a lot of adults kind of do that. They don't literally do that, but whatever comes of that, it doesn't change anything. You can only deal with what's happening right in front of you. I come to as simple as this. I'm driving down the road. I come to something in the road, whether it's a wreck, whether it's a detour, whatever. What am I going to do? Am I going to stop the car right there and cry and worry? And I don't know, because I want to go that way, but I need to go that way. No, you just simply, you either go into your app, or you know an alternative route, or you go somewhere, but you do so, you figure it out and you go. And that's what life is about. But we'll see how this works out. We'll see where it leads. It already kind of got my head spinning. It already got my head wanting to go in some different directions with raw tropical living. In some exploration in some different directions, and expansion in some different directions, and maybe another platform. I mean, this will stay pretty much, this is going to stay how it is. I love this connection. This is my favorite connection. You guys are like family, the Raw Tropical Living family. I've gotten used to the various faces and what have you. But anyhow, I just wanted to share that experience a little bit, because it was pretty good, pretty deep, and I'm just excited to see where things are going with this new mentality without worry. Banish that worry. That worry is a crippler. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this one today. It was a little off my normal topic, but if you do like it, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.